It's vaccine day. We have a vaccine. We have 2 vaccines. Can you guys believe it? What a good day. Okay, I just wanted to start out by thanking you guys. My name's Hannah. God dang it, I always forget that. My name's Hannah. I have been a nurse swabber testing people for COVID for about 6 months now. I'm also a nursing student, and I'm just making a couple videos on this channel to tell you guys about what I know and what I've learned about coronavirus, the vaccine, getting tested, all that kind of stuff. So this video today is going to be mostly about what you need to know before you get the vaccine, what you should know, how to talk to skeptics about the vaccine, or maybe you're a skeptic yourself, what to know before you get it, okay? I wanted to thank you guys for just the outpouring of love and support you guys shared with my last video, which I'll link up here. The last video was about what you need to know before you get swabbed or tested for coronavirus, and man, it just blew up. Nobody watched it. But that's okay. Doesn't bother me. Vaccine day. Can't be sad on vaccine day. Share this with people. It wouldn't hurt you. I mean, it wouldn't kill you to just tell somebody. Please. We're gonna talk again about what to know before you get the vaccine. I have gotten my first dose of the vaccination, so 1 of 2, and that's the first and biggest point, is that you need 2 doses of the vaccination for it to be as effective as it can be. The first thing that I really wanted to talk about was kind of what I think has been the biggest point for skepticism on the vaccine. A lot of people are nervous about the vaccine because in reality, we've only been really dealing with the brunt of coronavirus for about 10 months now, which sounds like a long time when you're in quarantine, but it isn't that long in the medical community, given that we spend so much time making sure that things are trialed very thoroughly before we bring them out to the public, and that's obviously a good thing. What I would say to people that are nervous about getting the vaccine because of how quickly it was developed and tested would be that this isn't the first vaccine we've ever made in the world. So yeah, we did it quickly. I say we like I'm on the research team or something. People smarter than me and you, people did it really quickly. And that's a good thing because you're complaining about being in quarantine, okay? So why are you mad now that it was too quick, huh? Jeez Louise. But really smart people had a lot of resources. There was so many celebrities donating bajillions of dollars to research and relief for the pandemic. Yeah, it was made quickly, but it wasn't made quickly by monkeys in a lab. It was made quickly by people that are really freaking smart. We put national emergency level resources into making a vaccine, okay? The other thing to note is that this wasn't made willy-nilly. It was tested on over 43,000 participants. So if 43,000 people can take it and nobody's keeling over, nobody's like growing a tail or a third arm, that's very reassuring, that number of 43,000. And also worth noting, they didn't just like inject them and be like, did you get it? And they're like, no. There was also a placebo aspect and all that kind of stuff. You can look into that research too. So it was a very much a well done experiment. They injected the vaccine and then they had to follow each one of these 43,000 people for 2+ months. And with vaccines, specifically with this vaccine, most of the side effects were within 1 to 3 days after they got the vaccine. So after that, they were just checking in and talking for 2 more months. I think that following somebody for 2 months after the vaccine and them feeling great, not contracting coronavirus, all of those factors together, that works for me. I'm happy with that. The other thing is that this vaccine has a 90% effectiveness rate, 90 to 95, I think. And I believe we only have that high of an effective rate for a vaccine for the HPV vaccine. And it's like 98% effective against some cancers. So this is pretty good. Some other vaccines that we have are only like 50% effective. So if you're really nervous about like,
oh, well, some people still get coronavirus after the vaccine.
90% of people, so what? Things happen all the time that you're in the statistical minority. You're gonna be okay. I would rather at least shoot to be in the 90% of people that don't have to deal with coronavirus anymore. Am I getting too heated? Just let me know. I have a couple more things to say that I kind of rambled on too long about, so I'm just gonna add in a little note here and try to be more concise. So Regarding who should get tested and when, the biggest thing to note is that if you've had coronavirus within the last 90 days, you probably will not be prioritized for getting your immunization because you already have natural immunity from being infected already. So in those 90 days, you are not a priority, and people that are more likely to be infected will be a priority. Wait those 90 days after infection, and then I would recommend you get vaccinated. The other thing is that there is a certain treatment that if you had coronavirus and were treated for coronavirus, that there are contraindications for getting vaccinated after that. So make sure you look into that if you were treated for coronavirus. The other thing that I was trying to say in my first recording, and I just rambled on so long about it, is talking about conspiracy theorists. I don't really want to entertain this thought for too long because I don't think it is necessary or research-based or anything like that, and that's not really what I'm here to talk about. What I would say to somebody that is concerned about getting the vaccine for reasons like putting a microchip in you or DNA altering or problems with fetal development, I would say that research professionals and doctors and nurses have not put this much time, energy, stress, money into pulling one over on you. They are not trying to prank America. It's just not what people do. You trusted your mechanic when he put a new transmission in your car. Start there. You trusted your mechanic because that's what your mechanic knows how to do. You trusted the architect and the construction workers that built your house because they know better than you do. They've worked longer and harder at those specialties than you have. Like when you got a cast put on because you broke your leg, nobody was talking about like, well, did they put a microchip in your cast? Have you ever thought of that? It's a little bit too far-fetched for me, and I really want to focus on things that are research-based by peer-reviewed scientific resources. And if you guys find yourself talking with a conspiracy theorist, I would remind them of some of the facts that I've given in this video today, and also just that it's not really healthy, helpful, productive to be talking about the what ifs right now. We know that the fastest way to be done with coronavirus and masks and social distancing and all that stuff is to get a vaccine. We know that this vaccine is exceptional in comparison to other vaccines that we have and that we have been using for generations. And we know that there are not viable reasons and conversations to be having about anything regarding microchips and DNA altering and things like that. And there are scientific reasons about why that is not the case, and there are no scientific reasons about why that is the case. So that's my little bit on that. Hopefully this was a more concise way to say that, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Regarding side effects, 10 to 15% of patients had side effects that were something like headache, chills, fever, fatigue, sore arm for 2 to 5 days afterwards. And that's not as bad as the coronavirus. And those symptoms that lasted 2 to 5 days were mild and went away on their own. The counterintuitive part of all of this is that those are really good signs that your immune system is getting this mRNA vaccine, recognizing it, and figuring out how to fight it. If and when you experience these side effects, you can think of it as your body practicing for recognizing the real thing should you come in contact with the coronavirus. It is medically impossible to get coronavirus from the vaccine. If somebody says that they had symptoms afterwards, it's likely because of the vaccine. It is not coronavirus. If they're persisting for weeks afterward and not just kind of that like 2 to 4 or 5 day window, then I would suggest you get tested for coronavirus, because especially when you get one vaccine and then about 21 days later you get the second dose of the same vaccine, it is possible to contract coronavirus within that 21-day window. But it is medically impossible to get coronavirus as a result of getting the vaccine. Long-term side effects, I know a lot of people are skeptical on this because we don't know what it looks like 10 years down the road. That's a valid argument, and I would validate people that are nervous about that. However, it kind of goes back to the beginning of this video where I said we've been making vaccines for a very long time. We know a lot about vaccines, but also remember that only 10 to 15% of people are even having 2 to 5 days worth of side effects, it is indicative of how well this vaccine is working and what we can expect to see. The long-term effects of having symptomatic coronavirus is likely going to be more detrimental long-term than having the vaccine will be. If you're at information overload, skip past this part. It's going to be a lot of numbers and a lot of me reading off a chart, but I wanted to put this little bit in there about compare and contrast between the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, which is what I got, and the Moderna vaccine. And I also want to say that I don't believe that many places, if any places right now, are giving you the option either way. I don't think that you can go in and ask for a specific vaccine. This is more just what vaccine were you offered and what do you want to know about it. Again, it's going to be a lot of numbers and just, it's not going to be that exciting, but I just don't know if everybody has access to this information, so wanted to put it out there. So overall effectiveness, Pfizer is 95% effective, Moderna is 94% effective. So really neck and neck there. Effectiveness for people over age 65, the Pfizer is 94% effective, Moderna goes down to 86% effective. So Pfizer would likely be recommended to people over age 65. As far as subgroups, taking in demographic data about age, sex, race, ethnicity, BMI, coexisting conditions, these are both pretty much the same, between 90 and 91% effective. We haven't done tests on, I believe, kids under 12 right now. We're moving towards that, but even that, they are not really concerned about how it will affect different age groups even. So right now, everything as far as demographic goes is promising. And for the Pfizer vaccine, I think it's authorized in people 16 and older, Moderna's 18 and older. So right now, it's already looking good on that, and then they're gonna start doing trials for people 16 and younger, 12 and younger, and then hopefully moving down to infants so it can be kind of universal. For dosing, both of them get 2 doses. The Pfizer one is 21 days apart and the Moderna one is 28 days apart. So 7 days difference of when you're getting your next dose. Vaccine technology, they're both mRNA vaccines. I'll try and put up a little blurb about what exactly that means. Let's see, people in the clinical trials, there's 43,000 in the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine, 21,000 who got the vaccine, 21,000 who got the placebo. And then the Moderna vaccine had 30,000 people, 15 and 15,000 for who got the vaccine and who got the placebo. As far as precautions and contraindications go, they are equal in that you just need to be looking at the ingredients in the vaccine, and if you have had a reaction to any of those things in the past, have a severe allergy, things like that. Neither of them have egg products in them, which I know is a concern for other vaccines. So Google, it's readily available online. Google what's in the vaccine if you've ever had a reaction. Also, where I got vaccinated, you let them know if you have had a reaction in the past to anything, and you stay after for like 30 minutes, I believe, and they just monitor you there. And by monitor, I just mean you let them know if anything feels weird. So side effects for Pfizer, it says 60% with some adverse effects, especially after second dose in persons less than 55 years of age. So likely after your first dose, you probably will not have symptoms following it or side effects, but after your second dose, you're probably more likely to. Side effects for both of them are injection site pain, so your arm will probably be sore, fatigue, fever, headache, muscle pain, joint pain. The only different one is with the Moderna vaccine. It notes lymph node swelling in the armpits. So that's my quick run through. If you made it this far, thank you again. I hope that you guys will consider sharing this video with anybody that has questions or would like to have a little bit of extra information in their arsenal for how to combat conspiracy theories, how to talk about the vaccine with people that are skeptical. I know that a lot of people are not even on the docket for getting their vaccine yet, but hopefully with this information soon enough, we can all kind of be prepared to spread truthful and factual information. I also hope that you guys will like and subscribe. It really helps if you guys comment, all those kinds of things. I've had a lot of fun making these videos, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed them and can find them useful. Share them with your friends, post them up, let's go. So I'm really excited about this. I will let you guys go. I'm gonna maybe put in a little clip of Juno sleeping as she has been while I've been being a psychopath in front of my camera for a little while. Have a good rest of your guys' week. We're all gonna be fine. We're all gonna get the vaccine. Nobody's growing tails, no weird horns coming out of our skulls falls or anything like that, we're gonna be okay. Okay, look at me. We're gonna be just fine. We're gonna be fine. This is a good thing. You know what else I said? One more thing. You don't get to complain about how we've been wearing masks for too long and complain about the vaccine. You gotta pick one. You don't get to be mad about the problem and the solution. That's what I'm leaving you with. Like, comment, subscribe. I quit. Just kidding. I'll be back. June, are you so excited about the vaccine? Okay, look alive, kid.